Yo, let's get into this, man. Don't forget to send me videos. But we're gonna get right into this, man. I ain't even finna chat. Let's just send videos to my Instagram and I'm react to them. You know what I'm saying? Your boy gonna react to them. So let's get into this right now. One, two, three, let's go.
For decades, they were unmistakable. Bright orange shorts, white tank tops, and a business model that turned male attention into a billion-dollar empire. But in 2025, after 42 years of buffalo wings and controversy, the unthinkable happened. How did one of America's most recognizable restaurant chains, a company that once seemed unstoppable, end up declaring bankruptcy? And what can every business learn from their spectacular rise and fall? That's what we're examining today on the Philosophy of Marketing, and trust me, this story contains lessons every entrepreneur needs to hear.
Let's come up. Damn, look at that motherfucker. Damn, look at that shit. That is it. But let's come up with some predetermined reasons why this even happened. You know why I think y'all familiar with the not is it Best Buy? Not Best Buy. Blockbusters. I think is it Blockbusters where you used to go and get the movies and stuff? Am I right? Where you could just go and buy the DVDs, you know, for a night out. In Redbox. Where's those at? Damn, nigga, I just brushed my teeth. Damn, nigga, damn. Okay, let me get right. I know I'm looking crazy. I should have got right. But let me back to what I'm saying. You know, like Blockbusters and stuff, Redbox. Where's those at? Nowhere to be found, right? You know why? They didn't upgrade with the times. When Netflix was coming out with Netflix, Blockbusters was like, nigga, we're not coming up with digital movies. Everybody, nigga, they thought, this is what Blockbuster thought. There will never be a time where niggas won't go to the movie store and buy movies for a movie night. It won't happen. And then boom, Netflix came through and I used to stay at the Blockbuster used to have some shit. Video games, all type of shit. But they was in the past. And Netflix came and took it because they were being innovative. And you know the problem with Hooters? They're not being innovative. Niggas is overly freaked out now. I don't know if y'all got Facebook, but when I go on Facebook, bro, and even X, I'm getting, you know, I'm seeing some cheeks. So like now you don't even have to be a dude who actively goes on your phone looking for some PORN. Oh, let me do my you know, maybe my hourly check on my Facebook, see if my grandma you know, wrote a status or something about for me or something. Hey, grandson. I'm seeing BBW backshots. And that's what I'm saying. They should have went a level higher. And as sick as this is, they maybe should have found some women who will be comfortable going butt naked. You gotta upgrade. You gotta upgrade. You gotta upgrade. I don't know. That's my free. They just ain't innovative. That's my first. That's my first one. I got more, but we ain't got all day.
To understand how Hooters went from industry trendsetter to bankruptcy court, we need to go back to where it all began. The year is 1983, Michael Jackson's Thriller is dominating the charts, and in Clearwater, Florida, 6 businessmen with no restaurant experience decide to open a place that combined their favorite things: beer, chicken wings, and attractive women. Their business plan was simple and revolutionary for its time. Take the sports bar concept, add waitresses and revealing uniforms, and create what they called delightfully tacky yet unrefined atmosphere. The owl logo with the double entendre name was deliberately provocative, and against all conventional wisdom in the restaurant industry, it worked spectacularly. What happened next defied restaurant industry logic. Within 5 years, Hooters had expanded to 100 locations. By 2007, they had over 430 restaurants worldwide and annual revenue exceeding $1 billion. Their success wasn't just about the waitresses, known as the Hooters girls. They actually built their business on 3 key pillars. First, they defined a clear niche: casual dining with entertainment value. Second, they created consistent, affordable comfort food. And third, they mastered the art of the surrogate relationship between customer and staff. And this is where controversy and business success collided. And here comes our first business lesson. Brand identity can be your greatest strength and greatest vulnerability. Hooters knew exactly what they were selling, and it wasn't just chicken wings. Marketing professor James Collins explains, Hooters wasn't selling food, they were selling a temporary escape. The food was merely the ticket price for the experience.
You know, the other thing, maybe, bro, I don't get y'all. You know, and I love all girls, but I honestly don't think y'all know the power that y'all have. Y'all really don't know that the power y'all have. Y'all got the power to make niggas spend money. I don't think you really believe this. I'm a young nigga and I did this before. I'm a young, well, I'm not, well, whatever. When I did I didn't trigger nothing, but I remember one time I went to Journeys, right? I went to Journeys to get some Timberland boots. You know. I wanted this girl number. And I don't know what made me in my mind, but I wanted to ball in front of her. So now that I only buy one pair of Tim boots, I spent $500 on Tim boots that day. Just so I can impress this girl. I ain't even get her number. Yeah. Sucker shit is that. But this is my thing. When dudes got money in their pocket, your girls understand, guys, this and this is two different things, you know? And you gotta really use your power, you know? Use your power and do it with some finesse. You don't gotta have sex with these men, but create a delusion. You see, a lot of girls be pretty, but they don't know the game. That's the problem. That's why a lot of girls ain't getting what they want. Y'all don't know the game. Y'all don't know first y'all don't know who to play. Because y'all going after the wrong dudes. Y'all going after niggas who fucking, they fucking worship Andrew Tate and shit. They pride themselves on being lonely non-simps. You get what I'm saying? So like, they pride themselves in that. Nothing wrong with that. But they pride themselves in that. So this means there's nothing that you can do to break that barrier because this is their identity. You know, this is their pure identity that they will not be tricked by women. Even if that means that they will forever be lonely. A lot of dudes will do that. So you got to avoid those dudes. You got to go after the dudes who, they're not programmed, And I'm one of them. I'm be honest. I'm one of those programmed dudes, though. I'm one of them, you're not about to play me. I will be lonely before you play me. So I'm not a good target. But there's a lot of niggas that is.
Laser-focused brand identity drove tremendous loyalty, but also created a demographic ceiling that would eventually contribute to their downfall. By the mid-2010s, the restaurant industry was transforming rapidly. Fast casual dining was exploding. Food delivery apps were changing how Americans ate, and younger consumers were increasingly uncomfortable with Hooters' core concept. Between 2012 and 2018, Hooters closed more than 7% of their locations, but the real problems ran much deeper. Hooters faced a perfect storm of challenges. Cultural shifts making their concept increasingly controversial, rising food and labor costs squeezing thin margins, competition from Twin Peaks, Tilted Kilt, and other restaurants, and the pandemic decimating in-person dining. But the most significant threat was something few saw coming. And herein lies business lesson number 2. Demographic shifts can destroy even the most established business models. Restaurant industry analyst Maria Rodriguez explains, Hooters' core customers were aging out, and younger generations weren't replacing them. Millennials and Gen Z wanted different dining experiences, more inclusive, more diverse, more focused on food quality and sustainability. To their credit, Hooters recognized these challenges and attempted several strategic pivots, but each one revealed fundamental flaws in their thinking. In 2017, they launched Hoot Wings, a fast casual concept without the Hooters girls, but it failed to capture the magic of the original Hooters concept while also failing to attract new customers. Hooters updated uniforms, modernized restaurants, expanded the menu with...
Well, shit, do the Hooter girls look like them? I had this girl. Big as shit. Talking about she about to go to Big as shit. About to go to the Hooters, tryout or some shit. I'm like, shorty. Like, I have no problem with big women. Do not get me right there. But all I'm saying is shorty. Like, bro, you know what I mean? Y'all let me be honest. Guess how much y'all think she weighed? Bro, she had to be like 255, 7. The fuck nigga, that's offensive tackle size. So that's my problem too, is y'all sticking to y'all word. If I go to Hooters and the first person I talk to, y'all we were trying to push this body positivity, I'm not coming back. Because that's not why I came here for. I came here to look at some beautiful women. And I'm not saying the women are not beautiful, but that's not their restaurant. You know what I'm saying? They need to find their own restaurant, And I don't like that people don't establish that, because I can sit here and admit I'm a short dude. I just went to a party the other day. Guess what that party was called? It was called BBW party. I walked in the party. I didn't even know it was a BBW party. I walked in. I said, "Dang, why are the girls big?" No problem. I was mingling with them. But when you go in somewhere, it's like if you go somewhere and all the dudes are short. Wouldn't you be frustrated if you're a woman? Well, then I was frustrated when I walked in there and it was all big ladies. I was like, okay, well, at least have like a couple skinny ones. Look, there's a poster on the fucking wall. And guess what it's a poster of? BBW's Night Out. So, and that's my thing. That's my thing. But I still think it's a great fucking idea, though. But they just need to upgrade they either got to go more controversial or shut the shit down. Girls need to start walking around there butt naked. I don't know what else. I ain't honest, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas is getting overly freaked out now.
Healthier options and invested heavily in delivery services. And here are just a few of the numbers. The remodel cost for Hooters anywhere between 8 to 10 million per location. The menu expansion, 40% more items by 2020. Delivery investment, $25 million in technology. And the return on investment, negative 12%. The problem wasn't execution, the problem was direction. And here comes business lesson number 3. You can't evolve your brand while clinging to your old identity. Branding expert Jonathan Hayes explains the fundamental contradiction. Hooters tried to simultaneously retain their restaurant image for existing customers while appealing to more progressive consumers. It's like trying to drive in two opposite directions at once. When COVID-19 hit in 2020, it accelerated Hooters' decline dramatically. A business built on in-person experiences was suddenly forced to compete purely on food quality and delivery efficiency. And the numbers tell the whole story here. Hooters experienced a 57% decline in revenue for Q2 in 2020. More than 200 locations were temporarily closed, 37 locations were permanently closed, and 70% of the remaining locations were operating at reduced capacity through 2021. But here's something that's really fascinating. Their competitors in the casual dining space were recovering by 2022, but Hooters continued to struggle.
See, another thing though is you're trying to understand. They battling with strip clubs too. Nigga, I went to the strip club, right? Nigga, the food was fire. Me and the homie went to Jaguars up here in AUZ. Nigga, I had loaded super fries and titties on my face. There was no better experience. There was no better experience than that. And you know what's funny? I never been inside of a Hooters, but I already know Hooters every time I see a girl in a Hooters outfit, she look bougie as fuck. She look like she's not tolerating no flirting. She ain't making a nigga feel in no type of way. So why wouldn't I go to the strip club if I was to go to one of these, I want to see some titties and food. Why wouldn't I go to the strip club where I see some actual ass and titties compared to this establishment, which it got good food, but you got these bougie ass girls who make you feel weird for coming. I need a back massage in this or something. Like you getting a full-on lap dance with fucking wings. You can't beat that. Y'all trying to compete with that? That's y'all fucking problem. Y'all in the middle. Y'all doing the same thing Blockbuster did. Y'all in the middle. Either you go straight digital or you make a motherfucking movie theater. Pick one.
This revealed the final brutal truth. When stripped of its atmosphere and reduced to just its food, Hooters couldn't compete. Business lesson number 4. When your differentiator becomes a liability, fundamental reinvention is required. Restaurant consultant Keith Williams put it bluntly. Hooters had decades to evolve their concept, but instead they've just made surface-level changes. When the pandemic hit, they had no second act ready. This brings us to 2025 and the Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing that shocked the industry. After years of declining sales, mounting debt, and failed turnaround attempts, Hooters Restaurant Group filed for bankruptcy protection, citing $427 million in debt against only $389 million in assets. The filing revealed staggering figures. Their same-store sales had declined for 22 consecutive quarters. Customer traffic was down 41% from 2007 at its peak, and perhaps most tellingly, their average customer age had increased from 38 in 2000 to 56 in 2024. In the filing, CEO Saul Mullally acknowledged what many industry insiders had been saying for years. We failed to evolve our concept to meet changing consumer preferences while carrying unsustainable debt from our expansion efforts. And I want to show you some of the effects of the bankruptcy. An immediate closure of 175 locations, restructuring of $275 million in debt, the sale of the international franchise rights, and the rebranding of the remaining 123 locations.
But I don't understand what the age got to do with it. Because what do you want them to put? Big titty grandmas out there? What? What would you, okay, if you was like, okay, man, we need to evolve, what can we do? I said we need to put strip, I don't know. I think y'all got to keep it going. You can't just turn into Applebee's. You got to turn up you got to twist the knob. You got to twist the knob or something, bro. I don't know. Get some titties delivering shit. Make your own DoorDash. DoorDash double D's. Come on, y'all not listening, man. Y'all gotta upgrade this shit. Y'all gotta get more provocative. And I'm not encouraging it. I don't know. I'm not encouraging though. But because I don't think the food quality matters in this. Nobody will ever, and it was never gonna happen. Oh, Hooters all of a sudden got the best food. Oh no, you had to have a reason to go up in there. And I don't know. I think them outfits got weak. Why did it look like, bro, you can go to the fucking nightclub and find girls more provocative looking like that. You can go to fucking church, girls dressing more provocative than that. Why do y'all still got them weak ass outfits on? That's what I'm saying. Y'all should have kicked out all the kids. It should have been a strictly rated R. Come on now. And you know what it should have been? You had to bring your ID to come dine in there. Because the thing is, you can go in these strip clubs. You can find some girls paying some top dollar and say, hey, just go out and deliver food butt naked. Put a whole bunch of security in there. Only 21 plus and up. Put a gratuity on it so they automatically spending the 20% tip tax. Bunch of old horny dudes would have been in there. Let them smack some ass. Come on. Do y'all want money or not? If not, then this conversation is done.
Locations under new ownership. For context, other casual dining chains that successfully transformed during this period, like Applebee's and TGI Fridays, embraced technology, simplified menus, and reimagined their core value proposition without abandoning their brand heritage.
Nigga, ain't no such thing as Fridays no more. And I think Applebee's, you know why they stay? Because they always coming out with some crazy shit. 99-cent margaritas. You know, I was there. I was up there. I said 99-cent margaritas. Hell yeah, I was up there. Come to find out, didn't have a fucking lick of liquor in them. But shit, at least they out here trying to get motherfuckers in the door. That's how you get niggas in the door right there. 99-cent liquor. The fuck is you talking about?
The Hooters bankruptcy wasn't inevitable. It was the result of strategic choices made over decades. And here comes our fifth and final business lesson. Cultural relevance requires continuous reinvention, not just optimization. Optimizing your business is important. You should always be tweaking, improving, and looking for marginal gains. But if you're only optimizing with yesterday's model while the world moves on, you're already on the road to irrelevance. And that's exactly what happened to Hooters. They kept trying to polish the same concept that worked in the 1980s and the 1990s, believing small tweaks like new uniforms, broader menus, delivery apps would be enough. But real cultural shifts aren't solved with optimization, they demand reinvention, a deep, sometimes painful reassessment of what business you're really in and who you're serving today, not who you served 20 years ago. So what business lessons can we learn from Hooters' rise and fall? And let me break it down into 5 actionable business lessons. First off, brand identity needs room to evolve. Hooters' core concept became increasingly out of step with cultural shifts. How can your brand maintain its essence while evolving with the times? Number 2, demographics determine destiny. Hooters' core customers aged out, and younger generations wanted different experiences. Are you tracking demographic trends that could impact your business? Number 3, differentiation must be sustainable. When your key differentiator, like provocative waitresses, becomes controversial, you need a backup plan. What's your secondary value proposition? Number 4, half measures fail in transformation. Hooters tried to change without really changing. True transformation requires courage to reinvent, not just refresh. And finally, number 5, debt amplifies business model problems. Hooters' expansion left them with debt that limited their ability to transform. How leveraged is your business model? The lesson from Hooters isn't just about changing social norms or pandemic impacts. It's about the danger of building a business on concepts with a limited shelf life without a plan for evolution. The restaurant business isn't about preserving traditions. It's about continuously reinventing them. Industry consensus. So the next time you see a shuttered Hooters location, remember, you're not just looking at a failed restaurant chain, you're looking at what happens when nostalgia becomes strategy, a cautionary tale for any business facing changing times. Now, if you found value in this breakdown of Hooters bankruptcy, hit that like button and subscribe to the Philosophy of Marketing. In the comments, let me know, what failed business would you like me to analyze next? And until then, remember, adapting isn't just about survival, it's about thriving in the face of change.
You know, and I didn't find this really valuable because, like I said, I didn't see what did you think they should have did. Honestly, I think if they didn't go as provocative like I said they did, then it was like, what the fuck? Y'all playing on the sidewalk, in my opinion. All that sidewalk walking, you need to get in the street, my boy. And you know, and this is the thing too. It's like you gotta grow, of course. Like I said, yeah, the times people got more freakier, and I think, like I said, you should have went all in. And before you closed it down, for sure. Before you closed it down, I think I would have went out banging. I wouldn't have let it left off like that. I would have left off us being on the front news for the next 2 to 3 years. If I would have said, and then they wasn't fucking with the internet. This is how I would have been. I would have been like food, booty, and sports. Man, don't love nothing more. I would have completely cut all the female customers out. I would have cut anything lower than 21, maybe 18. If they let 18-year-olds look at some ass and titties, that would be awesome. Because I wish I was 18. You know, I was fucking like 12, 13. But yeah. This is the time where men come together, look at some butt naked. You know, and I'm not saying, but this is Hooters we talking about. Quit acting like we talking about fucking Outback Steakhouse. We're not. We're talking about this. So, you know, like I said, they should have just went out with a bang. That's what I would have did. Y'all gonna remember Hooters. Nobody's gonna remember Hooters. Just because Hooters wanted to come over there with this. Nigga, come on now. I can go to the gym if I want to see more body than that, bro. I can go to fucking Planet Fitness right now and get a better view. That's all I'm saying. It's about that time. Don't feel like I'm subscribed now. So where you going? I don't really know, but I'm not going to Hooters. I'm going.
Loaded up, young nigga, let it get loaded up. Pour some drink, yeah, I pour. In it tonight in the streets.